Hello, it's me again. Today I want to talk about bootleg DVDs and Blu-ray versus real DVDs and Blu-rays. Again, this is not the first time I talk about this in my channel or the first time I made a video talking about this topic, but I decided to make another one simply because I continuously see the debate on social media platforms about fake Blu-rays or bootleg Blu-rays and DVDs, and there seems to be a difference in understanding about the term bootleg and fake, what really define a fake or bootleg DVDs and Blu-ray versus the definition of real DVDs and Blu-ray. And I decided to make this again simply because, there are still a lot of confusions out there, and I brought this up again from Reddit. There's still many people confused about the Ghibli collection, whether that collection is a bootleg or not. Bootleg Ghibli DVD on Reddit, and it will show us this result. Is this Studio Ghibli DVD collection a bootleg? It's a discussion from 5 years ago, but I think there's a new comment there. Is this an official Studio Ghibli set? Where can I buy legit DVDs of all the Ghibli movies? Is this the real DVD or a fake DVD? And they're referring to all kinds of DVDs, and one of them is this DVD set of the Great Ghibli collection. Again, I already made the video talking about this one because this is a real DVD, but people consider that this one is a fake DVD because this is not the standalone versions like this one that I got here, the steelbooks of some of the Ghibli movies. But really, is this a real or a fake DVD? Now, it really depends on the definition of fake versus bootleg DVDs that you got. And in my opinion, based on my observation, most people who, commenting on the Reddit post, these people, and most of them are US based, they have this idea of real DVDs and real Blu-rays from the United States perspective, which is they're looking at the pattern in the US region, and also they focus on the quality. So if the quality is bad, it's automatically bootleg, and if the quality is good, it's automatically a real one. But based on my understanding, that is not the definition of bootleg versus real. It all has to do with the legality, with the law. It can be, having the best possible quality, but still a bootleg because it does not have the permission, quote unquote. And it can be of the worst possible quality, but it can still be legit and a real one, not a bootleg. So in order to determine whether something is bootleg or real, it's not from the quality, that's the basics, not from the quality, but from the legality. Is it legal or illegal? So that is the foundation. So we need to really, really differentiate something that is legal versus something that is good, because there are a lot of things out there that are so good, but they're illegal. But there are also things out there that are so bad, but those are legal, just like our laws. And it's not about the, I'm not saying that this is to support, the illegal or the bootleg or something, but this has something to do with the law on different countries. So some countries, they can allow this, and some countries, they don't allow that. So how can I come to the conclusion that this is actually a real DVD? It's because I'm looking at the pattern of the real DVDs versus the bootleg DVDs. And going back to that Reddit post, and I determined that those were mostly US-based collectors, because they're judging other collections from other countries from the United States perspective, that this is the regular ones in the US, it must be true in other countries, but that is not the case. For example, in the US, most of the time when they release Blu-rays and DVDs, they do not have the hologram stickers. These are US released Blu-rays. Alice in Wonderland, there's no hologram sticker, and there's no censorship number from the government. This one is also US release Blu-ray of The Sorcerer's Apprentice. There's no hologram sticker and the government approval. There's no the hologram sticker. But if you go to other countries, for example, mine in Indonesia, you will find DVDs and Blu-rays and video CDs, they all have the hologram stickers. Like this one, it has the hologram sticker from the distributor called Vision. This one also has the hologram sticker over there. This one also has hologram sticker. And this one also has the hologram sticker, as well as this Tin Beach 2 has the hologram sticker. That is not a common practice in the US. I think based on all of my Blu-rays imported from the US, Blu-rays and DVDs, they do not have the hologram stickers. But the ones from my country, they all got the hologram stickers. And this goes beyond the Disney ones in my region. This one is the video CD for Colombia. They also got hologram stickers. They also got hologram stickers for all of their films. Take a look at that, the hologram stickers from the distributor. That is also, where's the, that's the hologram sticker for Godzilla. All of these got the hologram sticker, but again, it's still not consistent because some of them, they do not have the hologram sticker. That this one is the Fox video CDs that were released in my country. They do not have the hologram sticker. Just, you know, no hologram sticker at all. But these are real video CDs. So it will depend on the agreement, I think, between manufacturers and distributors and the studios, whether they can, you know, manufacture it this way or that way. So we can't really determine whether this one is a bootleg or not, simply from one side of it. Another sample, I think, you know, because the DVDs and video CDs and Blu-ray that were released in Indonesia, most of them got the hologram sticker. A lot of Indonesians got easily duped by, you know, bootleggers just by selling copies of DVDs with hologram sticker. This one also got the hologram sticker. That one is also got hologram sticker, but these are bootleg because the hologram sticker is not the sticker of the distributor, but this one is this is a signature of bootleggers. The DVD9 and those hologram. I talk about these in further details in my video talking about, you know, bootleg DVDs and Blu-ray. You can check that out. But yeah, these were used to dupe a lot of people, and it's exactly the same as what happened in the US when those US collectors say that, oh, those are bootleg because those are different from what we used to have. The same thing with this one. These are real because this has the hologram sticker. For a lot of Indonesians, they thought that this was a real one. I was on TikTok and there's these Indonesian collectors. They, you know, they talk about their DVDs and how they just, you know, go back to the DVD format, and then he, you know, shows to the audience a bunch of DVDs with these hologram stickers that I suspect that he does not know that those are bootlegs, but those are bootlegs. But I don't really want to go to a debate and telling him that those are bootlegs, because that is not the point of his entire video. But yeah, those are bootlegs, you know, having these hologram sticker. But this is not usual for those in the US. And also another one, in the US versions, there's no government censorship number on each and every title of the movie. But in this country, in Indonesia, one of the way we check whether or not the movie is legit is from the government approval that is on the back of each film. That's the government censorship approval. Take a look at that. It's the number and the date. This one is 28th of May 2004. This one also got that one, but it's hidden behind this code. This one also has that one too. It may sound like I don't know, Orwellian, you know, story talking about films and censorship. But yeah, in this country, all of the films distributed, they need to got the permission from the government, from the board of censorship, and they got the numbers. It's not, you know, it's not that they were trying to censor everything. In some cases, it's just like a matter of legality. They just, you know, list their films in the board of censorship, and then they got the numbers, and that's all. They're not cutting anything. most of the time with the case of DVDs, they're not deleting any, they're not censoring any parts of the DVDs, but they did that with video CDs, those things. Again, that's part of the agreement, what they can and cannot do, what they need and, not need to do. But this is not a common practice for US release Blu-rays and DVDs. When you heard the term censorship, that sounds really, really bad for most international film lovers, but that is the reality for collectors in Indonesia. Yeah, that is another thing, because this one has the hologram sticker as well as the government approval stamp over there. So this cannot be, you can't get this one if this is a bootleg. So this has to be real. And there's also the name of the company, and then the the address of the company, the details of the company. So that is a real DVD of Ghibli. Wow, there are so many stuff here that I am a bit confused of what should I show next. In order to show you really the definition of bootleg versus real, that it has nothing to do with quality. It all has something to do, everything has got to do with the law, something that is legal or illegal. It can be of the worst possible quality, but still it is legal. Perhaps another sample that I want to show you about legal versus illegal is this DVD of Dylan Dog, Dead of Night. This DVD was distributed by a company called Top, which is the subsidiary of a distributor called Prime. This one is part of this group of physical media distributors in Indonesia, and you can buy this one in reputable stores. And they also got this is a movie magazine that was very popular in Indonesia back then, and at the end of this magazine there's always these ads for new DVD titles released at that time. They also advertise the stores called Movie Plus. Many of these DVDs that are having terrible quality, I purchased them in this store, Movie Plus. They will never sell bootleg video CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray. Yeah, and then this one is also for, notice that logo over there? That is the same logo that you can find here in this DVD of Dylan Dog. So yeah, it's a legit distributor. But here's the thing, the problem with this DVD of Dylan Dog, this DVD got Synapia. So if you play this one on your Blu-ray player, it will be muted because it's blocked by Synapia. Now, Synapia means to signify that this is a bootleg copy. You're not allowed, you're not authorized to play this movie on your device. That is that's one way they're trying to destroy the bootleggers, is by incorporating Synapia to their movies. But this is a real DVD. This one is released by a reputable corporation, a reputable distributor, but still it got Synapia. Is this a fake DVD? If, we're just looking at the definition of bootleg versus real just from the quality, this is a fake DVD. If this one goes to someone in the US, if I sell this DVD and then someone in the US purchase this DVD and then they play it on their Blu-ray player and then this blocked by Synapia, they will just be mad at me and say, you're selling a bootleg copy of the movie. But this is a real copy. This is a legit copy of Dylan Dog, but this one has Synapia problem. Can we say that this is a bootleg one? Well, technically no, because this one is legal. They got all the paperwork, they got all the permission. This one is a legal, this one is not bootleg, even though this one has Synapia or blocked by Synapia. You see, it's not really, black and white. There are a lot of gray areas here because, well, it's a very, very bad product, but still, this is legally a real DVD. Another sample also from the similar distributor, which I already discussed several years ago. It's from this movie called Twilight. This one is the real DVD copy of Twilight and distributed by that distributor, which is also advertised in that magazine. So this is a reputable distributor, a real distributor. But this one has a terrible quality. This bootleg version of Twilight is 100 times better than this bootleg version. But even though this has the best quality, it's still not a real DVD. This is still a bootleg DVD. So quality does not equal legality. So the bootleg one is so much better, but this is still a bootleg copy. The real one is just awful. It's just like I feel like I want to go to the office building of this company and then nuke the company. But still, it is the real DVD. I also have another one. This is a fake DVD of The Client. But this is so good, you guys. I mean, this is just, the packaging is so marvelous, the disc is so marvelous, the quality of the image is just so great, but still, this is a fake DVD. It doesn't matter whether the quality is good or not. If it is real, it has all the paperwork, it has all the permission, it is real. It's not a fake or a bootleg versions of the movie. And so this one is the bootleg version of Princess Mononoke, and this one is the real version of Princess Mononoke. I have in one of the discs. There's Princess Mononoke. Where is Princess Mononoke? Yeah, this one is Princess Mononoke. But this bootleg DVD of Princess Mononoke looks 1,000 times better compared to the real one, because they're using a single DVD for the entire movie, while here they're using a single DVD for 3 movies. They're destroying the image quality, they're sacrificing the image quality for the sake of space. So even though this is a bootleg version, but they're maximizing the capacity of the disc for a single film. Here, they're not doing that, so the image quality is just awful. Which one is the real one? This is the real DVD, and this is the bootleg version of the movie. So again, being bootleg or real is not about the quality, but about the paperwork, the legality. And again, this one may not be, the same standard as those in the US, but still, that's the reality that we are having right now. And I also have made this video talking about different distributors. They're distributing the same movies, but different qualities. Like, I'm using this as a sample. I also made a video about this already. These are Disney films, but it's distributed by a different distributor, not the real partner of Disney here. So Disney's real partner in Indonesia is called Vision. Yeah, that is the real official distributor of Disney movies in Indonesia. It was called Vision. But there's another distributor called Ardia and Sani that they're also releasing real video CDs of Disney films, but they're only releasing the old non-remastered versions. And I purchased these ones in the Movie Plus store, the store that you can see in the magazine that I showed you before. So these must be real, but if you watch this, the quality is just awful. But just because it's awful, it does not mean that this is a bootleg version. This one is still a real video CD copy of the movie. It's just not having the same quality. Look at that, The Sword in the Stone, Alice in Wonderland. These are all real video CDs. I also got these old movies, Joan of Arc, Demetrius and the Gladiators, The Rope, Challenge to Lassie. These are real video CDs bought in real video stores, but yeah, the quality is just bad. And even this is the video CD copy of Aladdin, but this is the Good Times or jet lag version of Aladdin. So this cheap 40-minute version of Aladdin, but they're using the Disney logo and the Disney version on the front cover. This is false advertising, but this one is still a real video CD, and they still sold this one in reputable bookstores and those movie stores that you can see from the magazine. So this is a real video CD. If this one got shipped to the United States and an American purchased this one thinking that this is the Disney version, when they played this is not the Disney version, they will automatically think, and this is logical, I can understand, that this is a bootleg version of the movie. Oh, this is a bootleg copy, throw that away. But this is actually a legit copy, a real copy. And this one has the numbers from the government censorship. Take a look at that. 5th of May 2006. There's no hologram sticker, but there's that censorship approval, and there's the name of the company. When you play the movie, there's a warning sign. At the opening scene, you can tell, the name of the company. You can track them down. And yeah, it's a legit one. So what really defines bootleg and real, fake or bootleg or something that is real? And always go back to this Ghibli because people insist that this is a fake one. Yeah, and using that argument that the quality-wise it's awful, but the case is in different countries they can have different laws, and perhaps the studios themselves can't control because of the law, and this is very interesting. And this goes, I don't know about the laws or anything, but this goes really, really beyond my capacity and really, really goes dark. Now, I'm talking about legality and laws. And sometimes studios can't do anything about that. The case in Indonesia is that back in the 70s and 80s, there's no law about copyrighting music and mass-producing cassette tapes. So, this is a true story. A lot of studios, people who built the studios, the music studios industry in Indonesia back then, they got access to the tapes and the vinyl records from the US, from the UK, those artists, the Beatles, and ABBA. They purchased the vinyl or the tape from the US or from the UK. They brought those here in Indonesia and they mass-produced the tapes. And it's all of them are just bootlegs, but there's no law telling that in Indonesia about bootlegs or real or something, which is ironically really, really similar to one particular scene in The Count of Cagliostro. One of the stories, Lupin, in here when they're printing money. And they say that why the government, did not arrest the people who are making this fake money, because the law is different here, my friend. The law here allows to make fake monies, to print fake monies, and that is true also with these type of bootlegs and real video CDs and DVDs and those things, because different country, different region, they have different laws. And talking about those things back in the 70s, those people who built their fortune by bootlegging those audios from, those big bands and singers in the 70s, 60s, and 80s. They're now sitting on their throne because they're living in the right time, at the right moment, and they got the power to just print as many cassette tapes as possible back then, before the law got, created at that time. So can we say that those are bootlegs? Well, it's very difficult. Technically, when there's no such law, is it bootleg if there's no such law in this country? Yeah, those things. So the law against perhaps different in the US, in the UK, and in Indonesia, and that is just one small sample. And this is what I meant by going deeper and darker. And I mentioned that the studios themselves perhaps cannot control the situation in different countries. So, for example, this DVD, the quality is perhaps so bad, perhaps Ghibli themselves cannot control. They cannot really do the quality control check at all times with these Ghibli movies. And this happened with, I suspect this also happened with Indonesian distributor for Disney films. And in the beginning, when they release Disney films in my country, they always have two different hologram stickers. The hologram sticker from the distributor, called Vision, and the hologram sticker from Disney. Same thing here, the hologram sticker from the distributor and the hologram sticker from Disney. Hologram sticker from the distributor, and that is the hologram sticker from Disney. That's the Mickey Mouse logo on top. But later, they removed the Mickey Mouse or the Disney hologram sticker. It's only leaving the distributors sticker. This one is also leaving the distributor stickers. And there is this issue with this practice is that a lot of us physical media collectors in Indonesia suspect that they're doing something illegal behind closed doors. Is that they're printing the disc without the permission from Disney. So yeah, they got the permission from Disney. Perhaps you are allowed to create 1,000 copies of The Sword in the Stone, and then Disney gave them 1,000 Disney hologram stickers, but then later they want to reproduce this film, The Sword in the Stone, but they didn't ask permission from Disney, so they just released these DVDs of The Sword in the Stone. They don't have to pay anything more to Disney for the new permission. They didn't have to renew the permission, but they can print this one using the same master and then just stamp the hologram sticker and call this one as the real DVDs. And one insider back then in 2014, I think, told us that because I was in a film collector group at the time, they talk about when we wanted to buy Frozen DVD, they said that grab the Frozen DVDs that has these hologram stickers all around it while you can, because the ones greenlit or allowed by Disney are those with these hologram stickers around. Take a look at that. The sparkles over there. Yeah. This one also only has one distributor logo, but all around there's a sparkle. They say that this is the ones that are allowed by Disney. When you buy perhaps the second batch, they don't have these sparkles. They're not really quote-unquote allowed by Disney. So are they doing illegal stuff? They're printing the movies without the permission of Disney. I do not want to make accusations here because it's a very, very problematic and very, very scary area, and I'm not really 100% sure about the legality of it all, but that's what I heard at the time. Always buy the ones with these sparkles, because the ones without is the second batch that's not part of the official Disney release films of Frozen, because the ones that are officially allowed by Disney, the quality control is just really, really good. So it has the best quality controls. The ones without, they're not having the same level of quality control. So yeah, most of the time, the Disney DVDs that I got in my collection, the one that only has one hologram sticker, like this one, they got broken far easily compared to the ones with the Mickey Mouse Disney hologram sticker. I don't think I've stumbled upon one that is already broken. All of the Disney DVDs that I got that has 2 hologram stickers, they still work just fine to this day. They're manufactured in the early 2000s, but they still work just fine to this very day. Like this DVD of Jungle Book and this DVD of Lady and the Tramp, they still work just fine. They have the hologram stickers. But the ones without, they usually got broken far easily because of the quality control. I think is not as good as the ones supervised directly by Disney. So what else can I say? And this one is still in line with the previous statement that they reproduce the ones without renewing the contracts. Perhaps I suspect that. And I can see that in this DVD of Mulan. I have 2 versions of Mulan. So this is the 2004 version of Mulan, the special edition, but they only use one hologram sticker. So I suspect this is a reprint. So this is not officially, quote unquote, allowed by Disney, but they just print this one anyway. So if this was produced in 2004, it needs to have the second hologram sticker, but this does not have that one. Yeah, this is the 2004 version, special edition. And this is the newer version of Mulan. This is the 2013 version of Mulan. So the 2013 version should be different. This one is from 2004. You can see that listed to the government in 2004. This is the newer version when they released Mulan for the very first time on Blu-ray. So this one was released in 2013. And that is the government censorship approval also saying that this was 2013. But boy, if you open this one, this is exactly similar to the 2004 version. So they're printing the new cover, new everything. They advertise this one as the new version, but inside is the same 2004 version. I suspect that because they don't need to pay or renew the license to Disney, so they could just produce the old ones, but just designing a different cover. That is insane. But this is still a real DVD. The same thing with this Winnie the Pooh DVD released in 2013. This one is the US version, Blu-ray. This was released in 2013. And down there you can see 2013 Blu-ray release. And in Indonesia, they also released this one in 2013. And the number at the back, the year says 2013, but when you open this DVD that's supposedly the newer version from 2013, this one is the 25th anniversary edition of Winnie the Pooh. So this is the older version of Winnie the Pooh, the early 2000 versions of Winnie the Pooh. And I tried to put the DVD version of this combo pack. It has different menu, it has different special features. Everything is different because this is a different mastering batch, different copy. They're just using the old copy, old master, and then they repackaged that one here and sold this one as the new version. This is also false advertising, but then this is a real distributor. This is a legit distributor. They even has this catalog. You can't convince people that this is bootleg. You're crazy if you tell people that this is bootleg because they got catalogs. Take a look at that. They're making this catalog back then for movies that were released at that time. Take a look at that. So it's weird, really. They're manufacturing their movies, which I suspect is without the permission from Disney, but still, legally speaking, perhaps they got this and that. I mean, it's the law. I mean, in all countries, we can bend the laws. Sometimes you have the power. If you have this and that, you can really change the law, or you can manipulate the law. Oh, technically speaking, we're not breaking the law because we're just using the 2004 version, so we do not need to renew the contract with you, dear Lord Disney. We're just going to make a different package design and call this one like this is the 2013 version. Look, we have the new version of Mulan with the new remastering process. Everything's new, but this is just using the old version. If you do not have the 2004 version, you will not be able to tell that this one is actually the 2004 version. Everything down to the menu and down to the artwork of the disc is exactly the same between the 2004 and 2013 version. That's what they did. The same thing with this Winnie the Pooh. This is not the 2013 new version of Winnie the Pooh, but they're framing it like this is the new version. It's not. So again, what is bootleg and real DVDs and Blu-ray? What is a fake one? Is this fake DVD because of the quality? Because the quality is awful? I read these comments in Reddit that's saying, if you stumbled upon anime DVDs from Malaysia or from these countries and they got like a lot of episodes in, perhaps only 5 discs, they crammed so many episodes to single disc or just 5 discs for 100 episodes, it's a bootleg. It's automatically bootleg. They're saying that because they're using the quality standard as the definition of bootleg. How to define bootleg is from the quality. But as we can see here, that is not always the case. Quality does not equal realness. Quality does not equal originality. So it can be of the highest quality possible, like these ones that I showed you, but still it's a bootleg versions of the movie. Things can be as awful as possible, like this sample of Twilight, just terrible, but still a real copy of the movie. So yeah, different regions have different laws, different regions have different ways of producing the movies, like this one, as I mentioned before. This one is from the US. None of them got the Disney Mickey Mouse hologram stickers, but the ones released in my country, they always have the hologram stickers. That's a difference. So when you are judging these based on your understanding from the pattern that you got in your own area that is very limiting. That's very limiting your perspective of this whole physical media market from out there outside the United States. I once gave my comment about physical media stores in a TikTok. These people, the person is saying that, oh, go to Barnes and Nobles right now because there's this discount for Criterion Collection. And I gave my comment, oh, I envy you, so sad because there's no more physical media stores and distributions in my area. And then the creator of that video replied to my comment saying that not even Barnes and Nobles. So according to him, so he's thinking that I am in the US. So the perspective, using the US perspective to view the world. So I don't think that is really good, you know, because there are the world out there outside the US, and this is the reality for a lot of people outside the United States of America, that we're having this type of release, that type of release, that the type of release is not always the best one. I'm not saying that this is good, you know, and I'm not saying that we need to stop criticizing the companies for producing terrible quality stuff. No, that is a very good point, that demanding quality in the real version is a good thing. We need to demand the best quality because we're paying for the real quality, the real product, the original product we have. We are entitled to have the best possible product. But yeah, I'm just showing the reality, that this is the reality that we have now in the world, that sadly quality does not always mean real or fake. We can't judge something that is bootleg or not just from the quality. I think that is all that I wanted to share with you at this moment. I hope this is going to be the last time I'm sharing about bootleg and real DVDs, and I hope that this is going to end the debate whether or not a product is real or a bootleg. Please always take a look at multiple sides, not just from one side. If you want to determine whether this is a real or not, take a look at multiple signs. It's almost always multiple signs. It's rarely only one sign. For example, if you're Indonesian and you take a look at the package design, there's a hologram sticker. Oh, there's a hologram sticker. But please be careful. This can be a fake one. Oh, there's a hologram sticker, but there's this DTS logo that is unusual, and there's other signs perhaps showing that this is not a real one. Always take a look at multiple signs, never only just from one sign. If you're an Indonesian and you want to buy the DVDs, oh, I want to buy this DVD of The Lion King, oh, but it does not have the hologram sticker, this must be bootleg. No, this one is released in the US and they do not use the hologram sticker for this packaging, so this is still a real DVDs. So always take a look at multiple signs and from where the stuff is released. Oh, this one is released in Malaysia. It's not as good as the ones released in UK, for example. But yeah, that's how we need to judge these package designs and these releases. And please be very careful when you want to buy anything. That's all. Thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.